April 15th, 2018, Sunday. I've kept doing these every day, so I'm starting to think this might become daily thing. Time of day may change, because late afternoon, early evening may or may not be best time to do these, but I don't know. We'll see. As always, it's one of these things where it needs to be contact with the enemy type thing, where I see what happens. But I keep doing these in the middle of the day. And I keep doing these every day. At least I have been for a few days now, so I'd have a mind to change kind of like the big long playlist I've been making from personal journey to better mental health to something else, but I thought against that because it's probably true if you have like a condition that goes on forever and ever. With mental health, for sure, it's a daily thing. So how you are each and every day is going to affect your mental health. And it's how it is for me, because today's been a pretty good day. Nothing really wrong. Probably was lifting all my thoughts a little bit too much, but something I have to deal with. None of the thoughts are really bad necessarily. It's not to the point where I got crippling. It was kind of a thing where I wanted them to kind of just shoo, go away, shoo, we don't have time for that right now, shoo. Because I got the thing of laundry I needed to get done. I started shredding some papers, and oh sweet Jesus, there's a lot of papers, and I really do need to make it almost like a daily thing where I yeah. Also, might potentially need more of those biodegradable bags that I've been using, that I need to be able to smashing it down, because that's a lot of paper. Anywho, yeah, I'm continuing my thing where I'm guessing my mind is clear enough where I can just do stuff. Yeah, last weekend it was awful for that mental bomb to go off, because it led to me, having to almost take a 4-day weekend when I wasn't planning on it. But I've talked about how it was good that it helped it finally click its mental health, so I need to treat it like if I was dealing with allergies, which seem to be fine. Right now it's raining, so that's going to help if it is allergies. And apparently it rained a little bit last night too, so I'm losing my body is still just dealing with the last of that. That I was actually sick and got over it. I'm not sure. I'm going to say allergies, so it's still most likely cause. Still raining now, apparently, to the point where there's flood advisories and a tornado watch, so it's going to be fun to look out for. But yeah, the past week has been it clicked its mental health, and I had to face and really work through a lot of things that I hadn't faced, I hadn't dealt with. I I admitted I've just been kind of marching forward blindly, just kind of hoping the next big thing I do would be that key, that it would somehow just work out. And some part of me is still not okay with it. Of course, what's better, not as good about it is that before I could more easily feel like I had some at least my own mind, tangible thing to hold on to. Say, this is the thing saying it. I guess it feels a lot less like the fractured thing my brain has been, and I'm further away from. Alright, so an analogy that I've used with at least my therapist, and I'm not sure if I've said it with anyone else. I don't think I've said it in these either. It's the arguing Senate analogy. Because you think about a very stereotypical bad legislative body, a bad Congress or House of Representatives or whatever. I know the Star Wars episodes 1 and 2, maybe even 3, have had this several times. You had senators yelling their complaints and trying to yell over each other. This group over here is complaining about this group over here is saying that they're foolish, this group over here has nothing else to worry about, this group over here is trying to get a camera, this group over here is trying to agree with somebody. And you get these groups all over the place arguing with each other over not just what the problem is, but what to worry about. And they've got their own fears and worries and concerns. That's plane, not thunder, okay. Or wind, even. But pretty much just an arguing Senate, pretty much. And it either's going to stay in chaos, or some strong voice has to say, silence, enough. And I'm guessing that however you want to follow this analogy, it's either, if you want to follow the analogy, all of the Senate is now much more controlled. There's decorum is the word. It's much more calm. Stuff's actually going to be able to get done. Those will be those that don't want to have an outburst. Or if you want to just give it an analogy, you can say that my mind is, at least at the moment, unifying again. There aren't all of these voices running their mouths. They aren't yelling at the top of their lungs trying to get their idea through. There's a peace in my mind. And there's still a risk if I'm left alone too long with my thoughts. There's still that possibility there's still probably a possibility to trap over a landmine. There's still probably landmines still that can go off at any moment. And there's probably definitely several things that seems like the big one's still being in love. Still many of those worries and fears and concerns that are still just, they're not yelling and screaming and causing a fuss. They're still kind of just like, hey, I don't think it's a good idea to not do that, or maybe you should try to, to just go on a date or something, I don't know. I think it's still it goes back to this question of what is my future path? What am I trying to actively work towards now? And a small thought that's cropped in my mind is I do have things around here I still need to do. Again, that box of papers is going to be massive. It's apparently going to take a while. I'd found that these, over there, the biodegradable bags that I've been using for recycling, I thought, well, they seem small, of course. They're actually the exact same 13-gallon size bag that I use for my trash can. I still use biodegradable bags for those. Probably could, but I digress. Of course, I need to deal with that's getting into another debate about the environment and all that. Anywho, yeah, the non-biodegradable bags I use and the biodegradable bags that I started using for recycling are both 13 gallon. I know, I just kind of I looked at it, I think it was yesterday, and I was like, oh, these aren't small, they're the same size. I also don't have a drawstring either. And they seem small. Of course, the other bags I've used have seemed small for the recycling I've used, because boxes, unless you like rip them up into a couple of pieces, you just like collapse them down, try to put them in there, they're not going to fit very well. And you're going to kind of run out of room kind of quick. So I put in like a little, it'd be good for like an office trash can, and you know, this was after I knew that they were the same 13 gallon size. I'm like, this could kind of work, I guess. So I might need to see if I can get me another 13 gallon trash can. And I'll find somewhere over there to put it. I can probably rotate some bins I got sitting over there now sideways, and I'll do like a divider type thing. I don't know. I've also thought I need a storage unit at some point, probably, because I'll get like a 90% certainty I ain't moving from here. I'm just going to renew the lease here. I'll go into why there's 10% in a moment. But yeah, I probably need to get another trash can for recycling, and just be good about just ripping boxes up into smaller pieces, and see if I can do something about like the bottles and jugs that I've got, see if I can like crunch them down or something, or just say, okay, well, these will be its own special thing, and I'll just have a bag full of those, or I'll just take like a 2-liter bottle every once in a while or something. Anyway, anywho, at this point, before I go on to the 10% of me moving thing, is I've got little projects I can still do around here. I've got papers to shred, I've got important documents to go through, and probably shred some of the old bills I have in there. I've got containers to reorganize, I got that trash can to potentially get. And just come up with other little systems and ways of doing stuff. You know, maybe finally try to settle in here. I don't know why it's probably because of my mental problems I never dealt with. I never was okay with trying to settle in. I've told my therapist this, and it's a thing of me almost being certain I wasn't going to stay here. But it's because I was so focused on the future. I wanted the future to be right and to be perfect, and no, this isn't my permanent home. I'm going to want to move somewhere else eventually, probably. Not probably, I'm wanting to, but it can wait until I have an idea of what the hell I'm doing. But the small thought that was in my mind was, once I'm out of these little projects, I've got any bit of furniture that I would need, the documents are in a good system, the recycling's got a good system, all that, I'll be left again with nothing to do. And I think the point that I'd come up with to counter that is, well, I'm always going to probably try to have something to do. And it'll be the first time that I'll be okay with doing something that can be conceived as, oh, well, I'm just wasting time. A, I'm not wasting time, but B, the point of that is, it's not something as a means to an end, it's meant to be doing something just because. And I already hear you, like, well, no, you need to do stuff to, like, you fulfill for doing the videos and all that. Which is A, true, and B, let me blow the biggest hole in it. I follow wrestling and play video games. What means, or what end am I going towards with that? I'm not training to become a pro wrestler. I'm not, at least at the moment, trying to do anything with video games. I've just done those things because they're fun and I enjoy them. I've gone to Byron and Breeze and watched the Super Bowl, and we're gonna go see a movie when I go see him again in a few weeks. What end am I going towards with those? I'm passing time. I've gone to Byron and Breeze just because. It's like, hey, you wanna come over? Sure. So, it's kind of the question that part of me has had to answer. It's like, well, why are you okay with the video games and the wrestling and all that? Those are a means to an end for any productive, and it's just because. It's kind of the response. Probably more scary. It's like, uh, probably more like it. Just makes me laugh. So, whatever project I take on after the organization stuff will be because it's fun to do. And yeah, I still want to turn Good News Czar and any channel I do after this into something that makes me a few dollars potentially. But I record game DVR stuff all the time because it's just fun to do. I've messed with clips on there, including in the Rockstar editor, just because it was kind of fun, not because I was necessarily really trying to make a career out of it. It was because it was fun to do. So I'm hoping now my brain's in a place where it's like, we're going to do stuff because it's fun to do. And yeah, we could either do that or sit around and worry that we're not getting anything done. And plenty of nice benefits from that. Now, as I said, there's about 90% certainty I'm just going to live here for another lease term, whatever that is, whether it's a year or 11 months or 13 months or whatever. I'll go figure that out. Now, this is where the 10% comes in. A, my brain just won't let me say 100% on pretty much anything right now. I'm getting better about it, but I'm a good scientist, though, for that reason. Anyway, so A, my brain just won't let me, but there's other actual reasons. B, it's leaving the door open for if they go, yeah, your rent's now $750. I'm paying $701. Plus I have to pay water bill on top of that, so my water bill probably the same no matter what, but you get my point. So pretty much, yeah, they spike it too much. I'm gonna be like, eh. But it's also gonna be me checking two places, possibly, to see what the rent would be for a 2-bedroom apartment. One is the apartment complex that I moved from recently anyway. I'm pretty sure those rents are going to be higher, and I don't know what I'd be able to do to convince myself that that's okay. And B, and the other place is someplace I was looking at, and then it didn't have anything available. But I remember the rates were actually decent, and were actually going to get me I think, if I remember correctly, they were going to be less, and it's going to be what I wanted. So that's kind of the 10%, and I might need to say it's actually less than 10%. It's probably, there's like a 95% chance I'm going to stay here, and a 5% chance I might move, because moving is stressful, moving is kind of expensive. Moving costs money. And I'm definitely going to say due to a lot of mostly my own stupid financial whatevers and not watching my money effectively over the past few months, I am probably not going to have that much money on hand, because in order to I need to put like $700 down ahead of time. I think that was like application fees somewhere in there, security deposit. I think application fees before then, security deposit, part of the prorated rent, and then I think pet application fee or something. They came to be about $700 and something, which, funny enough, I got about that much back from my apartment complex, Hawthorne Oak Ridge, when I moved out, because security deposit came back, and the rent for the rent I'd paid for when I wasn't going to be there, pretty much. I got my rent back, or at least some portion of it. So, yeah. What's also kind of bad is that I got back still a pretty healthy tax return. I sold the washer and dryer I had, and that could have been a good chunk of money, but I kind of I blew a lot of it because I was sad and I was depressed, and and wasn't thinking about it properly. But what am I to do? I probably would have burnt through a lot of it anyway because I'm still trying to get my budget balanced out. And I might need to cut back on helping Chris with again, as I said. So, yeah, it's not a bad day. It's pretty good. A couple of demons and specters floated around and rattled things a little bit. I have no idea what I'm going to name this. I'll think of something, because I also need to think of a thumbnail. It's usually the date and then some title to vaguely describe what I talked about. I'll think of some. And if I don't, then you'll just see a date. Then maybe like daily vlog, today's date. That's what I might do. I might only name it if I have an idea of a good summary. That's probably what I'll do. Today was a good day. May tomorrow be just as good. See you next time. Thank you for listening.